So first of all, congratulations on your appointment as a cardinal. And if I may ask, how do you feel when you first received the news of being appointed as cardinal-elect?
Thank you. Yesterday, actually, I was coming back from the Japanese mass on Sunday, and then it was just time of the when the Angelus finished. So people are just going back home from the St. Peter's Square, and there is a man who always asks the autograph of the bishops on the photos. So he approached me. Oh, then he said, "Congratulations, your name has been mentioned." So I said, "I didn't know what it is." So then he said, "You are the cardinal." So I said, "No, no, no, this man must be joking." So the first and most, I didn't believe it. Then I came back to the house, and then Cardinal Rueda of the Bogota told me that I am appointed, and he let me hear the recordings of the Vatican news, and it was true. So I was really actually shocked, and I was really surprised because I didn't know anything. And also I'm very much humbled.
Mm. In that case, Archbishop, let also our audience know. Didn't it like the process is like when someone appointed a bishop, normally there is a prior meeting. Is it different with the appointment of a cardinal?
Yeah, I think it is completely different from the selection of the bishop because for the bishops, usually some priests or laity or religious will be asked with the questionnaire for prior to the selection, and then after that, then the questionnaire was sent back to the nuncio. Nuncio sent it to the propaganda for the propaganda fide for the areas like Japan, and then later on it was later brought to the Holy Father. But it seems for the appointment of the cardinals only for the Holy Father himself. So he doesn't consult anybody. He just make his own decision.
Now, how do you anticipate your role as a cardinal will differ from your previous responsibilities as Archbishop?
Um, the I don't think to make a big difference at home. I have been a Archbishop of Tokyo for already 7 years, and I will continue to be an Archbishop of Tokyo. But if you become the cardinal, then the Holy Father will appoint you to them as a members of some of the dicasteries. So probably, well, at this moment, I'm the president of the Caritas Internationalis, but maybe there are gonna be a bit more responsibilities to come to Rome to join the meetings in the dicasteries.
With that new role, perhaps, or remain the same as the president of Caritas Internationalis, Pope Francis has emphasized the role of pastoral church and serving the marginalized. How do you envision embodying these values in your role as a cardinal?
Of course, the Caritas Internationalis had two consecutive cardinals as a president. Before me, my predecessor was Cardinal Tagle, and before that was Cardinal Maradiaga. And so, for past quite many years, the president of the Caritas Internationalis has been the cardinal. And then I become cardinal. Well, anyway, the Caritas people are happy about it, but it doesn't make so much difference. But I will continue what I have been doing, and then of course the charity charitable activities through Caritas is very important for the Catholic Church, and we are also serving the Holy Father's intentions for many years. So there will be no change. I will just continue whatever I have been doing.
As one of the cardinals from Asia, how do you perceive the growing role of Asian Church in the global Catholicism?
Yeah, I'm very happy that this September the Holy Father came to Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, East Timor, and also Singapore. I went to join the mass in Singapore. So it is clearly showing us that the Holy Father consider Asia is a very important center of the Catholic Church. No more the Asia is a periphery of the church, but the Asia is one of the centers. Like Africa is also the centers, Latin America is also center. So the one of the center is shifting from the Europe or United States to Asia or the Africa or the Latin America. So it is a very clear sign that the Holy Father showed that this time three the bishops from Asia has been appointed as a cardinal. So I think it's a clear sign that he considers Asia as a very important territory for the Catholic Church.
What are some of the key challenges you foresee in your new role as a cardinal, especially in addressing issues of social justice, peace, and reconciliation in line with your role as the president of Caritas Internationalis?
Yeah, I have been, I have been receiving a number of the emails from Japan last night until this morning, and many people are telling me that my appointment has been announced in the major medias like the TVs and internet in Japan as an important appointment to be somebody like a consultor for the Holy Father. So I think this is really showing that the interest of the people, and also at this moment recently we had a new prime minister who is a Protestant Christian, and I know him. So I think the appointment as the consultant for the Holy Father would be would have quite a meaning for the government also, and also for the general public.
In line with that one, that's interesting point you mentioned about the new prime minister in Japan. Perhaps also in line with the advocating for interreligious dialogue, particularly in region of Asia in general, but also in Japan in particular. How do you have any plans to continue on this issue in Japan, particularly interfaith dialogue?
Yes, you know that especially in Japan, the World Council for Religion for Peace has been very actively working, and three archbishops, Cardinal Maeda, Archbishop Nakamura, and myself, are the members of the board of the WCRP in Japan, and we have been cooperating with the Buddhist groups, our Shintoist groups, and other Christian groups, and the Muslims also in Japan. So it has been doing for a long time, this kind of the interreligious dialogue, the cooperation. So we'll continue. By all means, I just received the congratulatory message from the Secretary General of the WCRP in Japan, and he is also happy to have the addition of the one new cardinal to the board of the WCRP.
Talking about that new cardinal, you are one of the only few cardinals from the Society of Divine Word, our congregation. And your appointment coincides with the 150th anniversary of S.V.D's founding next year. How significant is this milestone for you personally and for the congregation as a whole? And how do you feel about representing the S.V.D
Yeah,
at this pivotal time of the
yeah,
church?
yeah. Well, I remember 50 years ago when I was a minor seminarian in Nagoya in Japan. We celebrated the 100th anniversary of the foundation of the S.V.D. Yeah, I was still the secondary school student that time, and I had the opportunity to go through the history of the S.V.D. that time, and then I found out there is only one cardinal in the history of S.V.D., which is the Archbishop of Beijing. Later on, he was ousted, or he fled from China because of the communist rule, and he went to Taiwan. Then he died in Taiwan. Um, so that time I was thinking, who will be the next? The first cardinal came from China, Beijing. So if it is the second one, then it must be also from Asia. So as a small boy in the minor seminary, I was always thinking that who will be the next cardinal in the history of the S.V.D. Then the 50 years has passed. Now we are celebrating the 150 years of the foundation. It is a real great honor for me to follow the footsteps of the Cardinal Thomas Tien of Beijing and to be the second S.V.D. cardinal together with Cardinal Nemeth of Serbia.
As you look ahead, Cardinal, what are your hopes and vision for the future of church in Japan and Asia, and also particularly perhaps related to Federation of Asian Bishop Conference?
Yeah, especially for Japan, I have been sharing this in the here in the synod during the synod in the small groups that the Japanese church is getting very international. We have maybe 500,000 Japanese, another 500,000 migrant Catholics in Japan. So the integration with different cultures, that means the unity in diversity is very much important in the Catholic Church in Japan. So I hope, like in Tokyo, we have quite a lot of the foreign nationals as a member of the Catholic Church, and integration together with the Japanese community and the migrant community is very important right now. So I want to contribute for that aspect, but also in the Asia, the people are moving around. Like in Tokyo, there are Filipinos or the Indians or the Vietnamese, many others from the Asian countries are migrating into Japan to work or get married or have family or whatever. So for Asia, this international cooperation and then intercultural dialogue and then looking for the possibility of the unity in diversity is a must and very important. So I really want to contribute for that, especially as a person who is in working for the FABC right now together with other Asian bishops.
Hmm. Are you saying that the Catholics in Japan has been increased in recent years, the numbers?
Well, the number doesn't change much. I mean, we don't have this strict numbers. We have almost 500,000, but maybe it's less than 500,000. But we must have the same number of the migrant Catholics in Japan. So altogether, in total, the Catholics are increasing in Japan.
Before we end, Archbishop, what are your message for the Catholic Church in Asia in general, and particularly in Japan?
Yeah, especially for Asia is that as I said, the center of the church is not in Europe or the America, but we are at the center. Everybody's center actually, but so we shouldn't continue to think about we are receiving church. We need help from other countries, but we have to be self-independent, and we also have to contribute ourselves to the mission of the worldwide church. So I think the responsibility of the Asian church is very great right now because we have so many vocations in many countries in Asia, and in some countries the number of the baptism is growing, and so we have the obligation to contribute to the entire church. And for Japan, the society is aging. The people are getting old, and we don't get many young kids anymore. The birth rate is going down. So sometimes we are losing the hope or joy in the Catholic community. But this is a clear sign. It's not my honor, but it's a clear sign from the Holy Father to tell the Catholic Church in Japan that you are important. You are important. So have courage and have hope for the future.
That is a great message, I think, Archbishop. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And for the Kasmir Nema, S.V.D of Radio Veritas Asia. Thanks for watching, and see us next time for more interesting conversations with Asian bishops.